I think of what you've done for me, I'm overwhelmed emotionally. You constantly, graciously spoil me with daily favor and tender mercy. So loving you is so easy to do. When I think about how you love me, it's so easy to love thee. Loving you is so easy to do. When I think about how you love me, it's so easy to love thee. I do not deserve any of your goodness, 'cause I'm low down filthiness, even at my very best. Lord, you constantly, graciously spoil me, daily favor and brand new mercy. Loving you is so easy to do. When I think about how you love me, it's so easy to love thee. Loving you is so easy to do. When I think about how you love me, oh my, it's so easy to love thee. That's why loving you is so easy to do. When I think about how you love me, it's so easy to love thee. Loving you is so easy to do. When I think about how you love me, it's so easy to love thee. I never knew a love like yours. Not yesterday, today, or forevermore. Your love is amazing. It is so amazing. Your love I humbly adore. Loving you, so easy to do. Loving you, so easy. Loving you is so easy. When I think about what you've done for me, how you set me free. Loving you, loving you, so easy. Think about your grace, your mercy, your kindness, your love, your care. Yes it is. You're so good to me, better to me than I've been to myself. Made a way, opened the door, brought me out, dried my tears, erased my fears. Yes you did, yes you did. Oh, loving you, so easy to do. Loving you, so easy. When I think about what you've done for me, how you set me free. Loving you, so easy. Think about your grace, your mercy, your kindness, your love, your care. Yes it is. You're so good to me, better to me than I've been to myself. Made a way, opened the door, brought me out, dried my tears, erased my
Well, good morning. Blessings and favor to each and every one of you. What another amazing day this is. I am so glad to be alive and to experience the favor of God. I want you to do me a favor and make sure you hit that share button. Make sure you tag, text, tweet, you know how I say it, inbox, yell down the hallway. Tell somebody to join you for this virtual experience. The Lord's blessings be upon you this day. I pray your day has already begun and it's already fantastic out of the gate. Make sure when you're coming in, you hit that share button, hit those thumbs and likes. We love it over here. It's everything. And I appreciate you. All you have to do is share. I'll take care of the rest. I just need you to hit that share button so that we are connecting with as many people around the country and around the world, literally, as we can. In my last session with you, we were talking about fighting the fear of abandonment. And little did I know that would set off a floodgate of responses, of comments, but even more shocking was the onslaught of questions that I began to receive. People were emailing, inboxing, going to the website. You had so very many questions. And for a lot of you, it was very revelatory. You were able to start pinpointing some of the whys in your life, some of the reactions you're having, some of the challenges that you had to face in life, and you were able to get some answers. So what I want to do today, I want to go even a little deeper. We were dealing with the fear, fighting the fear of abandonment, and I want to deal with some of the effects of these abandonment episodes that occur in our life, and perhaps one that is the most prevalent is emotional unavailability. People generally categorize people who they feel are not as emotionally connected or available as simply standoffish. But they don't understand that because of some of the abandonment issues I have gone through, then I try to do everything I can to serve my best interests. And that is to self-protect and to self-preserve, so that I am not exposing myself to potential hurt and even further damage that I'm not so sure I could recover from. So when we talk about emotional unavailability, this refers to an individual's inability to maintain emotional bonds in a relationship. You go good for a moment, and even you find yourself talking yourself into being more connected. I want to love. I want to have this. I want to be expressive. I want to give myself wholly and wholeheartedly to an individual, but these abandonment issues have created some layers and some barriers, which I have determined and defined to be protective barriers for myself. But the challenge about barriers is while they keep others out, it also keeps you in. And you create these fortresses, these places of solitude and isolation and insulation. And you look around and you have isolated yourself to the point where you can't even feel or experience all that is available for you. And so when a person is emotionally unavailable, this can manifest as distance. They're always distant. They have a hard time being close, opening up, being transparent, being vulnerable, because life and pain has taught us that vulnerability, if you're not careful, it always has the potential of being ammunition in the future. And so it manifests as distance, indifference, and a lack of commitment. You ever met somebody and they just, I have a phobia of commitment. And what they're really saying is that I'm trying to at least be courteous enough to put a label on my lack of commitment. And so I have this phobia. And emotional unavailability is characterized by a few things that you need to look out for. Because often I've seen people lose a lot of time under the premise of just saying where they're shy and it takes them a while to open up, and you don't realize that by the time you look again, it's been 6 months, a year, and it's draining you and it's robbing you of time you could be in productive, effective, loving relationships that are fulfilling. But it's difficult to do that with a person who's emotionally unavailable. They have trouble communicating, or even more predominantly, it's an inconsistent communication. They're always avoiding the deep conversations. They're avoiding, and here's one of the telltale signs. They don't put a label on anything. What are we? We're just, it is what it is. Let's not put a label on anything, because labels imply commitment. It has the connotation of obligation. And when you have been abandoned and you are dealing with the side effects of that abandonment in terms of being emotionally unavailable, because here's the reality: when you have been abandoned, the last thing you want to do, at least for a while, is feel. I don't want to feel. It ultimately becomes your preference to be numb, and consequently, you display irrational behavior. You do things that are senseless because you don't care. At least that's what you're convincing yourself. You're trying to convince yourself that you don't care. In reality, you do, but you have to camouflage your feelings, and you have to camouflage your care so that you are never hurt again at the degree that you once were. And so if you think people around you are emotionally unavailable, there's some telltale signs that if you don't diagnose them or identify them, you could lose a lot of time, and you can lose a lot of efforts. They're usually characterized. Here's what I call them. It's not a technical term, but I call them habitual ghosters. When a person is emotionally unavailable, and I know from firsthand experience what I'm talking about, because there was a time numb was my preference. If you start getting too close to me, I'm ghosting you. I got to get out of there, because now you got these feelings, and now you're attached to me. And though attachment may feel good to you, it didn't feel good to me, because attachment was the prerequisite for adverse feelings or actions that are going to be perpetrated against me. So if you start feeling too good, I used to be, I can't believe I'm telling you this. I used to tell people years and years ago, I used to tell people, don't love me, just like me. And that was my way of trying to protect you from my inevitable ghosting of you. And I'm going to let that sink in for a moment. I literally would tell, I'm feeling us getting closer. I'm just more drawn to you. Hold on, time out. Don't Don't make any attempts at loving me. at best like me. I can deal with you liking me, but loving me, that's a trigger. And a lot of you who are watching now, people don't understand the depth of your layers. They don't understand that somebody loving you or attempting to love you was actually a trigger for you. Because to them, while love was this beautiful, blissful experience, what you received that was defined and termed as love was horrific for you. And so you have decided to be and gotten comfortable with being emotionally unavailable. Here's the reality. You can be physically available and not at all emotionally unavailable. Let me let that sink in for a moment. Yeah, you can be, I could give you all of the physicality and you never get beyond the physical realm because I'm not letting my mind even giving it the permission to process this as something that could be long term. I'm not giving my emotions the clearance to let you in any further than you are at the moment. And so you're dealing with persons who are emotionally unavailable because they're always invalidating your feelings. They are always defensive. And more importantly, you can never really pinpoint a moment where you felt like a priority. Now that you look back over it, I'm giving you a scratch your head moment right now. Because now you're looking back and say, you know what? I can't really pinpoint a moment or a sustainable moment where I felt like I was a priority, where I felt like I was the predominant thing in your life. And ladies and gentlemen, you haven't realized it yet, but could it be possible that you have attracted or have been attracting people who are emotionally unavailable, and you've been saying stuff like, yeah, I'm probably a bit much for them. I'm a lot to handle. Not realizing that they've been giving you the signs all along that they're never going to validate your feelings. They're never going to support you emotionally. And you are never going to feel like a priority. Because when an individual has issues, again, that stem from being abandoned, we don't let you in easily. And it's difficult for us to feel anything. It's like you develop this numbness to feeling. And so you have to understand that a lot of emotional unavailability stems from fear. Sometimes you are just afraid of sharing or giving parts of you that have been concealed for so long, that have been misunderstood for so long to people that you cannot really verify if they're going to be a permanent fixture in your life. You got to be careful because people who are emotionally unavailable, they are easily withdrawn. You probably remember this, and maybe you've heard of it, but you just never done it yourself. Have you ever started an argument to get out? These are one of the signs of people who are emotionally unavailable. They just, why the remote got 2 batteries in it? Well, no, I don't want to hear it. I'm gone. I'm out. Look for any excuse to make an exit. It's because you start feeling the pressure to obligate, or the pressure, watch this, to be reciprocal in terms of emotional feelings, emotional investment. That this is the challenge, that when you deal with people who are emotional, this is why I keep telling you, you got to get beyond the surface. I know they fine. I know they look good. I know they got money. I know they got it going on. But you could have all of these things and still be bankrupt internally and emotionally. And there's nothing that will jeopardize your peace or your happiness than connecting and being in covenant with people who are emotionally bankrupt and emotionally unavailable for you. And so emotional unavailability often stems from fear. This is for several reasons, and this is so poignant for you to understand. And that is that they fear rejection or ridicule. Now, probably every one of you who I'm talking to has been in a space or a head place where you were literally afraid to get rejected. Think about it. Who likes to get rejected? Rejection can have it can have a significant debilitating impact mentally, spiritually, physically. It can blow you out of the water to get rejected. And so you become, usually people who are emotionally unavailable, they walk around with this constant fear of rejection or ridicule, or because of prior hurts in previous relationships. They were hurt, they were unheard, they were unseen, they were unimportant. And so you generally tend to keep people at arm's length. Okay, that's enough. Don't get too close. And so generally what happens, we create these barriers, these lines of defense, so that, again, when I feel you getting too close or closer than I'm willing to let you get, again, because I don't want you to love me. I just want you to like me. Now you're trying to love me, so I gotta put up this wall and keep you at distance. It can also stem from, hear this clearly, and I really, really wish I had time to unpack this. It can stem from insecurity. Insecure people tend to put up walls that prevent people from getting close to them or sabotaging relationships to avoid emotional closeness. You just sabotage it. You intentionally wreck the connection. You tear down what is being built or potentially can be built simply because of your reflex. I call it emotional reflexes, because of your emotional reflexes from your past hurt or your past injury. And so we put up walls, and these insecurities can stem from a lot of different things. Here's one that is probably in the high 80 percentile of this, and that is from past trauma, particularly traumatic childhood experiences or traumas from past relationships. They can prevent people from being emotionally available. If your mother didn't embrace you, if she didn't nurture you, if she didn't hug you, if she didn't grab your face and kiss you on the top of your head and say, "Oh, that's my baby," then there's some voids that are in your life that fester for years that you don't even realize until the person who is expecting it from you starts pointing out, "Hey, you don't hug, you don't kiss me, you don't touch me, you don't have conversation, you don't open up." And then you start realizing that what it really is an emotional reflex. By instinct, I know how to push you away. And consequently, when you have relationships not that have not been fully developed or nurtured from your childhood, your mother, your father, even interpersonal relationships with your siblings, then you tend to be sort of standoffish, and you grow up and you have issues socially. And you feel very uncomfortable in the public. You just want to get out of there. I don't like you hear, I don't like a lot of people, or I don't like being around a lot of people. And really, it's not that you don't like seeing the people. What you fear more is that people see you and see your vulnerability and see your hurt and see the things that you are trying to disguise. And so rather than go through that traumatic ordeal repeatedly, you just operate from a posture of being emotionally unavailable. Because when you're emotionally unavailable, here's what it is at the core. You have self-committed to not get committed. You signed the covenant with yourself and say, I'm not going to commit again. I'm not going to be available to people again. And so what happens is you spend a great deal of your life. And I used to just say women, be careful for this, but men, you got to watch it too, because there are some individuals who have decided that because of my past trauma and because of my emotional reflexes, I am just going to keep things casual and undefined, so I do not have to deal with any emotional components that go along with long-term kind of committed relationships. So you got to be careful for these signs. One of the things that you also have to watch out for, again, that plays back to being abandoned, is that neglect. Neglect has a tremendous effect on us emotionally, and it impairs our ability to be available for people. But watch this, it impairs my ability to be there for me as well. Because when you have been neglected, again, in environments where you should have been receiving nurturing, it teaches you that your needs don't matter and your wants should be simply shelved. You don't need anything. It doesn't matter what you want. And so consequently, you simply relinquish your wants and your wishes, and you submit to the wants and the wishes of everybody else. And while other people are fulfilled, you're living an unfulfilled life, because it's one thing for people to be emotionally unavailable to you, but it's another thing entirely when you are emotionally unavailable to yourself. How do I do that? You say things like this: stop crying, don't cry. I'm not going to cry about this, when in all actuality, crying is what you perhaps may need to do to cleanse your spirit, to release things that have been harbored in you emotionally from you. Don't cry. Look at you. Don't cry. Don't break. No. Sometimes you need a good cry to cleanse your soul and cleanse your spirit. And sometimes that cry will give you a better perspective so that you can realign your life and get back to the business of living fruitfully, futuristically, and fulfilling. Because, ladies and gentlemen, when you experience abandonment, it makes you apprehensive about attachments. So we tend to avoid them at all costs. I run by myself, I'm my own best friend. And I understand that, but really at the core of it, it's me protecting me. I don't want another friend, because friends come with the potential to hurt you and let you down and betray you and to walk out on you. And so why take me through that again when I can be my own best friend and I can look out for me? And so you have to make sure that even though people have abandoned you, that you don't abandon you. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. You have to make sure that their neglect of you does not translate into you neglecting yourself. For another day of your life, you have to decide that I am going to tap into who I am, my own wants, my own needs. Because what a tragic thing it is. And please hear this. And I don't know how straightforward I could be with you. I'm trying to. Please hear me. Don't spend all of your life giving everybody what they want and you never give you what you want. I'm going to say it again. Don't spend the entirety of your life giving everybody what they want and never giving you what you want. You're always the giver, always the supporter, always making sure everybody's fine, always hugging, always kissing. And yet nobody hugs you. Nobody embraces you. Nobody tells you great job. Nobody's saying keep pushing, keep going. Nobody's patting you on your back. You often find yourself patting yourself on the back because the one thing I refuse to do is to allow your neglect of me, hear this, to negate my greatness. Because being neglected can make you feel unworthy. And you walk around questioning, am I good enough? Why don't they want me? Why wasn't mother there? Why didn't father see me as worthy enough of their love, of their time, of their affection, of their attention? And so if not, you're going to spend great portions of your life with this emotional void. And even more detrimental is not you dealing with emotionally unavailable people. But here's the issue. What happens when you're the one that's emotionally unavailable? Well, this has been an amazing day. Thank all of you who are sending your super chats. And I thank you for your seed and your giving today. As we prepare to give corporately today, I want you to prepare your seed offering today as we are preparing to honor the Lord in our giving this day. I want you to allow the Holy Spirit to speak to your heart relative to your giving. What your seed deposit should be on this day. You know the rules of giving in our ministry. If you are willing and able, let every man give as God has prospered him to do so, not grudgingly, not forcefully, not out of force, but because you just love God and you love the work of his ministry. Again, all the giving means are right there on the screen for you. I want you to find the one that's the most convenient, and I want you to give. Also, May 18th, listen, I am excited. My pastoral anniversary is happening May 18th, 9 a.m. And my guest, look who my guest is going to be, none other than Bishop Samuel R. Blake. So if you're watching, if you're in or around New Orleans, that's the third Sunday in May 18th at 9 a.m. I want you to come and be my guest as we celebrate just the grace of God that he's allowed us to be a part of the vineyard for these years. And it's going to be amazing. Don't worry about dressing up and doing all that stuff. Come as you are, wear your jeans, whatever it is, and meet us in New Home, New Orleans East in 13800 Hain Boulevard, May 18th at 9 a.m. Screenshot it, save it, and put it on your calendar. Well, we're getting ready to go. Don't forget, the weekend is almost here. So find you a new home to go to on this Sunday. That's what I'm going to tell you. Find a new home to go to this Sunday. Join us in East New Orleans at 9 a.m., 13800 Hain Boulevard. Join us uptown New Orleans at the Mother Church, 1616 Robert C. Blake Senior Drive for 10:30. Also, don't forget our Hammond location at 10:30. Our Houston H-Town, where it goes down, at 11 a.m., our Jackson, Mississippi location at 1 p.m. And all of that information is anywhere New Home social media is displayed. You can get all the information you need to go to whatever location you would love to go to on that day. All right. Don't forget, God said it's yours. Go get it. Go get it, because God says it is absolutely, positively yours. I'll see you next time.